Today's tale, the title is The Disguised Prince and His True Love. Enjoy! In a vast and powerful kingdom in Nigeria, there was a king who had ruled with wisdom and strength for many years. The king was blessed with 4 children, 3 beautiful daughters and 1 son. The daughters, Princess Adetutu, Princess Adeshewa, and Princess Adetun, were all in their early 20s, each known for their grace, beauty, and intelligence. But it was the king's son, Prince Adewale, who captured the admiration of everyone in the kingdom. Prince Adewale was the embodiment of nobility, tall, strong, and modest. He carried himself with a quiet confidence that made him the most admired young man in the land. His radiant clothing and impeccable sense of style only added to his calm. But despite his many admirers, Prince Adewale was troubled. As the heir to the throne, he was expected to choose a wife and prepare to become king. Yet, in his heart, he knew that none of the maidens who sought his attention truly loved him for who he is. They were drawn to his wealth, his status, and the power he would soon wield. The king, now growing old and weary, urged his son to find a wife. The traditions of their kingdom were clear. Prince Adewale could not ascend to the throne until he had chosen a queen. But how could he choose a wife when he hadn't yet found true love? The prince felt trapped by his responsibilities and the expectations placed upon him. Determined to find a woman who would love him for who he is, not for what he could offer, Prince Adewale made a bold decision. He would leave the kingdom and travel far away, disguising himself as an ordinary man. In this new land where no one knew his true identity, he would seek out true love. And so, with a heavy heart, Prince Adewale left the kingdom under the cover of the night, taking only a few belongings and his trusted servant. After a few weeks of travel, he arrived in a distant land where he was unknown. Here, he found work as a laborer in the house of a wealthy merchant, a man known for his vast riches and influence. The merchant's house was grand and bustling with activities. It was here that Prince Adewale began his new life, working in the gardens and tending to the estate. The merchant, a man of great ambition, had 2 children, a son named Ayomide, who was in his early 30s, and a daughter named Morenikeji. Morenikeji was 25 years old, a beauty in every sense of the word. But more than her physical beauty, it was a compassionate heart, her intelligence, and her kindness that set her apart. She was the pride of her father's household, loved by all who knew her. From the moment he met her, Prince Adewale was captivated by Morenikeji. She was unlike any woman he had ever known. She treated everyone with kindness and respect, regardless of their station in life. Prince Adewale, disguised as an ordinary laborer, was no exception. Morenikeji often spoke to him as he worked, asking about his life and offering to help him whenever she could. A gentle spirit and genuine concern for others touched his heart in ways that no one ever had before. As the day turned into weeks and weeks into months, the bond between Prince Adewale and Morenikeji grew stronger. They spent more time together, talking about their hopes, their dreams, and their fears. Prince Adewale admired Morenikeji's intelligence and her strength of character. She was not like the women of his kingdom, who were more concerned with wealth and status. Morenikeji was sincere, and she treated him as an equal, never once looking down on him for his lowly position. Morenikeji in turn found herself drawn to the humble laborer who worked in her father's gardens. She admired his hard work, his modesty, and the quiet strength he carried within him. There was something different about him, something that set him apart from other men she knew. He was gentle and kind, yet there was a depth to him that intrigued her. As they spent more time together, Morenikeji realized she was falling in love with him. But their love was not without challenges. Morenikeji's parents were people of great ambition. They had high hopes for their daughter, and they did not approve of their growing closeness with a man they believed to be a mere servant. They had plans to match her with the son of a powerful politician, a man who would further their own influence and status. When Morenikeji refused, her parents were furious. They accused her of throwing away a future for a life of hardship and struggle. Morenikeji stood firm, determined to follow her heart. She knew that the love she shared with Prince Adewale was real, and she refused to let anyone come between them. Yet, she was unaware of the secret he carried, the secret of his true identity. Prince Adewale knew that he had to tell her the truth, but he feared how she would react. Would she see him as just another man of wealth and power? Would she doubt the sincerity of his love? One fateful evening, as the sun set over the distant hills, Morenikeji overheard a conversation between Prince Adewale and her brother Ayomide. She had come to the garden to speak with him, but as she approached, she heard something that stopped her in her tracks. The man she loved, the man she believed to be a humble servant, was speaking in a way that did not fit with his supposed station in life. As she listened, the truth began to unravel. Prince Adewale, unaware of Morenikeji's presence, spoke openly with Ayomide. He revealed his true identity, explaining that he was the heir to a powerful kingdom, a prince who had left his home in search of true love. He spoke of his fears, his longing to find someone who would love him for who he was, not for his wealth or status. He confessed that he had found that love in Morenikeji, but he was afraid of losing her if she knew the truth. Morenikeji, hidden among the shadows, felt her heart shatter. The man she had fallen in love with had lied to her. He was not a humble servant. He was a prince, a man of wealth and power. A mind raised with questions. Had he been testing her? Did he think she was like the others, only interested in what he could offer? She felt betrayed, but more than that, she felt hurt. How could he not trust her enough to tell her the truth? Tears filled her eyes as she stepped out from her hiding place. Prince Adewale turned, his heart sinking as he saw the pain in her eyes. Morenikeji confronted him, her voice trembling with emotions. "Why didn't you tell me?" she asked, her voice barely above a whisper. "Why did you hide who you are from me?" Prince Adewale, seeing the pain he had caused, felt a deep sense of guilt. He stepped closer, his voice filled with sincerity as he tried to explain. "I never meant to hurt you," he said, his voice breaking. "I only wanted to find someone who would love me for who I am, not for what I am. Every woman I have met has only seen the wealth, the status. I wanted to be sure that you loved me for me, not for the prince I was born to be." Morenikeji listened, her anger slowly melting away as she realized the depth of his struggle. She saw the fear in his eyes and the fear of losing the one thing he had longed for, true love. Her heart softened as she realized that his deception had not been born out of malice, but out of deep need to find something real. But even as she forgave him, doubts lingered in her mind. "How can I trust you now?" she asked, her voice still trembling. "You lied to me. How do I know that you won't lie to me again?" Prince Adewale took her hands in his grip firm but gentle. "I swear to you, Morenikeji, I will never lie to you again," he vowed. "I love you more than anything in this world. I would give up everything, my wealth, my status, even my throne, just to be with you. You are the only woman who has ever seen me for who I truly am, and I will spend the rest of my life proving to you that my love is real." Morenikeji looked into his eyes, searching for any trace of dishonesty, but all she saw was sincerity. A man who had been willing to give up everything to find true love. Her heart swelled with emotions as she realized that this was the man she had fallen in love with. The man who had treated her with kindness and respect, who had never once tried to use his status to win her over. She knew then that she could trust him, that their love was real. With a sign of relief, she nodded. "I believe you," she said softly. "I believe in your love." Prince Adewale's heart leaped with joy as he pulled her into an embrace. "Thank you," he whispered, holding her close. "Thank you for giving me a chance to prove my love to you." The next day, Prince Adewale returned to his kingdom with Morenikeji by his side. As they approached the palace, the people of the kingdom gathered to welcome their beloved prince. News of his return had spread and the kingdom buzzed with excitement. But it was not just the prince they were eager to see, it was the woman who had captured his heart. When they arrived at the palace, the king himself came out to greet them. The king, now old and frail, had been anxiously waiting his son's return. But when he saw Morenikeji standing beside Prince Adewale, his heart filled with joy. He could see the love in their eyes, and he knew that his son had found the woman who would stand by his side as queen. The king welcomed Morenikeji with open arms, blessing their union and praising his son for his wisdom in choosing a bride. The news of their engagement spread quickly, and soon the entire kingdom was preparing for a wedding of the century. Morenikeji's parents, who had once opposed the union, were invited to the palace. They were overwhelmed by the grandeur of the event and were humbled by the way they were received. They realized that their daughter had made the right choice, and they were proud to see her chosen as the future queen. The wedding was a grand affair, unlike anything the kingdom had ever seen. Dignitaries, kings, political leaders, and prominent people from all over the land gathered to witness the union of Prince Adewale and Morenikeji. The celebration lasted for days, filled with music, dancing, and feasting. It was a union blessed by the gods, a true love story that would be told for generations to come. As Prince Adewale and Morenikeji stood before the people, hand in hand, they knew they had found something far more valuable than wealth or power. They had found true love, and as they exchanged their vows, promising to stand by each other for the rest of their lives, they knew their love would only grow stronger with time. Prince Adewale and Morenikeji lived happily ever after. Their love a shining example of what it means to find someone who sees beyond the surface, who loves you for who you truly are. Their story became a legend in the kingdom, a reminder to all that true love is not about wealth or status, but about finding someone who loves you for who you are. This story teaches us that true love is not about appearance or material wealth, but about connections between two hearts. It reminds us that sometimes we must look beyond the surface to find what really matters. Thank you, and remember, love can find us in the most unexpected places. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to this channel for more fascinating stories and tales.